Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Kevin Ray here with Resident Realty in Denver, Colorado, and I'm out here actually in Fort Morgan waiting for some clients to show up, show a property out here, and just thought I would shoot a little video talking about for sale by owners because we come across this quite a bit, and I get it. I understand why you'd want to sell your house by yourself. A lot of it is perceived, savings in money, not wanting to pay huge realtor commissions, and also with Zillow out there. Yeah, why do you need an agent anymore, anyways, these days? Because all you need is Zillow, right? So, a couple things about that. Kind of wanted to talk about. Basically, so here's what happens when quite often anyways when somebody decides they're going to sell their house themselves. They're up against a few hurdles right out of the gate. Part of it is pricing, and to be honest, I know this is going to get a lot of resistance, but really it isn't that easy to price your house. You look at typical person will kind of they've got friends, family, whatever that have sold the house in the same neighborhood, and so you say, okay, well, okay, here's my price. It'll be X $100,000 for the house, and the fact of the matter though is it's more than just knowing what another house or another few houses in the neighborhood sold for. You have to actually compare the two, or compare them all, and that's sometimes easier said than done. And it doesn't always occur to people exactly what that what is involved in the comparison. So finished basements, bedroom count, simple thing like that. It doesn't occur sometimes to somebody, well, you've got a 4-bedroom and your friend sold a 5-bedroom, but they seem like very similar floor plans. They seem about the same size, and so you end up pricing it as if it was a 5-bedroom, and you're too high. So that's one of the biggest things that we see with for sale by owner properties is they just aren't priced correctly. So there's a little bit of a reason maybe to consult with an agent. Another big one is availability to show. Buyers these days, they need to get into that house when they're available and when they want to look at it. So if you've got a job, you're working all day and you're trying to show the property on the weekends or in the evenings, but somebody wants to see it at 12 o'clock. You can't get there. That's what agents are for. They can get there. They make it. They help make it really convenient. Convenience is key. We're Americans, for God's sake, so we demand convenience in everything we do. And buyers will, if they can't get into your house until the weekend, and it's a Tuesday, they'll be under contract by Thursday. So and you miss an opportunity to to show the property. Another one, photographs. I come across this as I'm working with folks all the time that that have had their house for sale themselves, and their photos are shit. Sorry, but they're bad. They're blurry. They're dark. They're not framed very well. They're the composition in the photo is horrible, and that has a mental impact on buyers when they're looking online they're looking at 15, 20 houses that they want to decide which ones they want to go look at, and the one with the worst pictures doesn't get looked at that as often. So because bad pictures just make it seem like a bad house. So that's another thing, not enough pictures. Certain sites let you put on 40, 50, 60 photos. Put them on. People want, the more information buyers have, the better they feel about pursuing the property. Sorry, there's a fly buzzing around here and driving me nuts. Another thing is virtual tours. I don't know that I've ever come across a for sale by owner or FSBO where the owners put up a virtual tour. There's actually a way, and a lot of people will filter their search results by properties that have video virtual tours, and those are the only ones they'll look at. So, there's just a few things, that help agents show the properties, and the thing is, you just want people to come see your property when you have it up for sale, whether it's by yourself, with an agent, or whatever. You just need people to come look at it, so the more the better. And here's another, as an agent, here's another thing I find where, a lot of for sale by owners, okay, well, will pay a buyer's agent, a commission to bring, if you bring the buyer to us, and almost. So anyways, we were talking about FSBOs. I'm got a phone call here in the middle of everything. I've got no service out here, but except for that one guy from New Jersey that just tried to call in. So anyways, to kind of reboot the conversation about for sale by owners, it's what I was about to start talking about was that even though a lot of for sale by owner people are willing to pay buyer's agents if they bring a buyer, that's great. However, here's kind of one of the problems is, what I find is that even though you're willing to, and even though you state that in the listing, you almost never, not you, I shouldn't say you, but for sale by owner people rarely return our phone calls. So I have called literally in the past, let's say 6 months, I've probably tried to show a dozen for sale by owners, maybe let's call it 9 or 10 actually. And you know what? I've gotten one callback on it. And with that one, we didn't even actually have a client to show. So which was the odd thing. It was kind of a weird situation. We didn't have a client to show the property. It was just in a place where we do a lot of business down in Parker. And so anyways, they did invite us to come in and take a look at the property. So we have information. So that was cool. But, that's 1 out of 9 or 1 out of 10 that even return phone calls. And most of the time when we, call and try to arrange a showing, it's actually because we have a client looking in that area. So that's another thing. Whether that's how you're going to do it or not, I don't know. I'm just saying there's a tendency for people to not return agents' phone calls for whatever reason. And then now we come to the big Z, the elephant in the room, Zillow. Again, with Zillow, they've got, I'll admit it, Zillow has all the traffic. Every single human being that's looking at property in the United States goes to Zillow. Every single one of them. I'll give them that. So that's fantastic. However, now here's the thing, and you can, as a person, as an individual, you can list your own house on Zillow for sale. That's fantastic. However, if you look into it, the reality is Zillow makes a metric shit ton of money from real estate agents. And so agents will pay them up to several $1,000s a month to be what they call a premier agent. And if you have a FSBO right now, pull it up on Zillow and look, and you're the 4th person on the list. There's 3 agents on top of you that Zillow is presenting to potential buyers. So find the little agent, the contact section, and you'll see 3 premier agents, and then you'll see you. Now the premier agents have their pictures next to their contact information. You have just a little gray avatar, a gray on gray silhouette avatar. So who am I going to call? It ain't going to be that one. And then the fact of the matter is also, you look just above where that is, and you see the contact form where it says, I want more information about this house. that contact form doesn't go to you. That goes to one of the 3 people that you see, because they're paying Zillow to send that information, that contact, to them. So that information goes to a buyer's agent. And again, we've already discussed that buyer's agent doesn't get a call back from the FSBO 9 times out of 10. FSBO is for sale by owner. So that's one of the biggest problems. It really does stand in the way. So anyways, if you're still watching this, Laura and I, we understand why people want to sell their houses themselves. Agents have a lot of expertise. This is all we do all day, every day. We have contract expertise. We have, we've been through scenarios that you could benefit from knowing about and having some guidance and, advice on certain things, especially with rural properties, horse properties, acreage, things like that. There's a lot of stuff, even properties in town in a subdivision, a well-established subdivision. There's just a lot of things that you can benefit from an agent. So we understand the way the industry is going, the way people are going, and the fact of the matter is most properties that get listed for sale by owner end up being listed at some point out of frustration with an agent, just because you don't get as many showings as you thought you would, you don't get the interest you expected you would get, and so people eventually will, quite often, most of the time, actually end up listing with an agent. So what we would like you to do, we understand that, so our philosophy is we actually let our clients set the commission for us. So there's a lot of flat rate agencies out there, there's a lot of 1% agencies out there, and so at the end of the day, we want to talk to you about your property and also your concerns about why you would want to sell it yourself rather than with an agent, and let's see if we can't just eliminate that as a problem. We've gone into numerous situations where we've got clients that have a certain financial thing compelling them in the sale, and they can't make the numbers work with these big realtor commissions. It's one of those things we understand, and we're willing to work and talk with you about that. So anyways, that's kind of the lowdown on for sale by owner properties as I see it kind of here in Denver, and actually in all the markets that I've worked. So we'd love to talk with you. Just let your guard. If you want to sell your house and you're considering doing it yourself, let your guard down. Talk to us. Let's see if we can't come up with something that makes sense. We'll just tell you what we'll do for you, how we're going to help you out, and we're then basically put it in your hands, and you tell us what that's worth to you, and let's see if we can't come to some sort of agreement and get your house sold for you. Thanks, guys. Kevin and Laura Ray with Resident Realty here in Denver, and you can contact us at 720-595-4556 is Laura's number. She's a lot cooler than I am, and she's got a real cool British accent. So give her a call or call me at 720-595-5508. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.